Hi everyone, it's Luke here with a further video on my weekly watch list for trading next week. Now I'm just going to start on the AUD JPY, Australian dollar, Japanese yen. There's not a great deal that I've been looking at, to be honest with you guys. The market's been pretty sideways the last week. I got in two trades which I'll go over with you in a second. As you're probably aware, there's still a lot of Brexit stuff going on, so the pound's very sort of sideways. And being Good Friday here, and banks being closed and things like that, the market's been very consolidating and moving very slow. So I'm going to start on this pair quickly. We're on the 4 hour time frame here. You can see we put in this nice little double top here. We came back down, but then we've shot back up again, and now it looks like we might be creating some sort of a possible head and shoulders. Now this isn't guaranteed, obviously, but you can see the left shoulder, which is a double top, the head, and now we're back down to this area again. If we can get a nice push back up anywhere into this sort of area, we might get a nice head and shoulders, and then we can either trade this right shoulder down if we can get entry on a lower time frame, or we can wait for the break of this neckline and trade it back down to this support area. So for this pair, I'm looking for some sort of, like I say, right shoulder formation possibly. If not, I'll look for the break of this area, the sort of neckline, and then further downside movement. CAD, CHF, okay, so Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. We're on this weekly trend line here, and we've double topped up here, and we've also got this counter trend line on the 4 hour. So ideally, I'd like this sort of area broken, this sort of area here broken, this neckline. However, once this neckline breaks and retests, I'm not going to get a good enough risk or reward ratio down to this trend line. Okay, so I'm going to need this trend line to be actually broken, then maybe pull back to this area, and then I'll look for further downside movement to this support area. CAD JPY. Okay, so this is a trade I actually took. I've been testing out a new strategy, and I took this trade. I got a little bit of an early entry. I would have wanted for a little bit of a later entry. My ideal entry would have been up here. If I'd gotten up here, I would have smashed 1% straight away. But I got in down here a little bit lower than I'd like to. I had this sort of drawdown up here, about 15 pips drawdown, and then it kind of went into about 0.5% profit, and I banked it there. Now this is going back to Friday, guys. The market was very sideways along here. Not a lot of momentum at all, as you can see, and then it started picking up a little bit towards the afternoon. And yeah, I got out at 0.5% on that trade, and that's a strategy that I'm currently testing. So it is in the test phase. Here on the back on the 4 hour on the Swiss franc JPY, we've had a nice bearish break from this support zone, and we've had a brilliant retest, and now we've had this engulfing candle. So this actually, if you zoom in a little bit more, we can see that we've actually got this engulfing candle and this indecision high test candle, which means sellers are really coming back into this market. So this will probably be an ideal time for me to get in. I'd need to have a further look on the higher time frame. Okay, so there's a little bit of support around here. So you might be able to get a nice good risk reward down to this support line, or you might want to try and trail your stop further down to this weekly support. Okay, so that's a possible trade for me to jump in. I'll wait until the market's open midnight tonight, no, 10 o'clock tonight, sorry, and I'll see. But do bear in mind, guys, it's bank holiday again tomorrow, so there's going to be not a lot of movement in the markets. For the Euro USD, I had this lovely counter trend line. It's literally a clean break here. I think this was news, if I remember. And then we've broke below this, and then we've had this nice pullback, and then we've had this 4 hour engulfing candle here, which is a good entry signal to get in short. My bias is short on the Euro pairs. A Euro CAD, similar sort of situation. We've got a little bit of a head and shoulders here, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then we've had this break and retest. So again, I'm looking for more momentum to the downside to confirm that we are going to be heading back down towards this area of support. Euro CHF, we're still pretty high on this pair. This pair has been riding high for quite some time now, but now we've come to some sort of indecision up here. We're consolidating a little bit. I'm waiting for this trend line to break on the 1 hour. You see it's quite a strong trend line. We've had multiple touches here, here, a little bit here, and now we're back to it again. So I'd like a real clean break of this, a retest of this red horizontal ray, and then more downside movement to see this down to the further horizontal ray support over there. So most of my analysis is on euro pairs this week. Again, we've had this sort of double top up here on the 4-hour on the euro JPY, and now we've come right down. I believe this was news again, and we're approached this trend line. So I need to see this trend line broken, retested, and then we're going to see more downside movement. Pound pairs I haven't really touched. However, I did see a nice opportunity on the pound dollar. If I just bring that up for you. So yeah, we did have sort of a break below this support line that's been literally tested so many times with these little low test wicks here. And then we had some sort of rising flag forming. We have broken out, but it's not too sort of, we've broken out and we're still getting this wicky indecision movement. So I really need to see some sort of bearish movement down here to really confirm that we are heading down now to the next support zone, which could be around here on the trend line. So this is a daily trend line, guys. This is quite a strong break. So when you see a daily trend line break, it's a good sign that we are changing direction. NZD JPY, similar sort of situation. We've broken this trend line. We've broken this horizontal ray here again, and now we're retesting it. So I'd like to see a lot more bearish movement, and we'll be seeing this down towards this sort of support area here. You could trail your stop all the way down to this weekly support if it does get there. It's been respected once, 2, 3, 4, 5 times since August last year. So it's a very strong support line. So that's definitely one to look out for. And let's have a look here. USD JPY. Again, it's been consolidating. I've been waiting for this break for quite a while. I thought it did break over here, so I went to get in. But as you can see, if I zoom in a little bit, I didn't really get the confirmation I wanted. I wanted that crossover of the EMA, which we did get. But after this sort of a bearish candle here, I wanted more momentum and then a pullback again. But it just, as you can see, the buyers just came straight back in the market and shot it back up. So it is consolidating quite a lot here on the 4-hour. I need a clear break, retest, and then I'll be going short down to this previous support, which I believe is on the daily. It's this daily support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches there. So that's really it for the week. Go over the charts yourselves, guys. Plot sort of similar sort of situation to me if you want to, and see how it goes. Keep an eye on these trades. Again, this is just sort of my analysis on it. This is not some sort of be all end all. Please take this as a pinch of salt. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them in the next week's video, or I might try and do another midweek video if I get a high enough demand for them. I'm hoping they are helping you out. Lastly, I did take a trade on the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, I believe, and I got stopped out by news. I can't remember where that was now. I did get stopped out. I can't remember what it was. I stupidly, a big mistake of mine, I didn't check news. Well, sorry, I did check news, but because of the hour saving time here in the UK, my Forex Factory calendar, which is where I check all my news announcements on here, guys, my Forex Factory calendar was an hour behind. So I entered the trade at 3:30 just before, and the news said that it had already been out at 2:30. But my clock wasn't calibrated on here to the hour change in the summertime saving. And literally, guys, the trade came straight up, bam, and spiked me straight out. Literally, I think I placed a trade at 3:25 on a Thursday, I believe. I think it was Thursday, and within 4 minutes, I was gone. I was out the market. It literally took 1% off me straight away. So always be prepared to look at the news when you are trading, guys. A lot of people try not to take notice of it, but look at the red folders. Go to forexfactory.com. Just look at the red folders and calibrate your time zone with them. And just be wary because there is a high impact on these news announcements. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I say, any more questions, let me know. I'll be happy to run through any other pairs for you guys. Anything else trading related, let me know. I have been looking at gold recently, but I can't see a great deal here. So we've got this nice downtrend forming here, and we have broken through this previous support, which I believe was on the daily. Yes, we've got one touch, two touch, another literally touched there to the pip, and we've now broken through this. So there's a good chance that we're going to start making some lower highs, and we're going to start seeing some more downside movement. That nice EMA cross here on the 4 hour, and you can see the price is respecting this 15 EMA, which is a good strong signal that we've got a good strong trend going on here. If it's respecting the 50 EMA, it's not quite as strong, but it's literally just plummeting here. So we could expect some more downside movement on the gold if you do trade gold. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a massive fan of gold, and there's also a bit of a sort of a bit of head and shoulders forming there. Yeah, so go over the charts, plot the lines on yourself, guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll catch you guys in the next week's video. Okay, have a good week and stay safe trading. Bye bye.